Hi, my name's Melissa and I'm here to guide you through a fascial stretching video. Mainly we're going to try to just get your whole body stretched. The fascia is part of your connective tissue. It's inside your muscles, inside your organs. It just helps keep you together. And when it gets dehydrated and super tight, it doesn't matter how much you try to stretch a muscle. If the fascia is tight, it's still going to go back to that tightened state again. Picture your fascia as if you had a knot in your shirt. See all the ripples. So even though there's only this part that's tight, you still have lots of other ripples throughout your body. So we're going to try to get everything so that you can have optimum movement and be hopefully even pain-free. As we go through all of the exercises, I want you to just be honest and true to yourself and make sure that you're not pushing too much where you're going to be in pain. Stretching should not be painful. You should just feel stretching may not be the most comfortable thing if we're not used to doing it very often and having that self-care to our bodies, but you should not feel pain. Alrighty, let's get started. So I just want you to feel your nice standing posture, your best standing posture here. Feel your head right over your shoulders. Shoulders are melting down your back. You're not actively pushing them down. They should just be come down your back. Shoulders right over hips, hips over soft knees, and knees right over your feet. You should feel your weight evenly distributed between your toes, ball of your feet, and your heels. Okay? As we do this, let's just take a little assessment and see how we're feeling today. So, for example, say you're backing out of the garage. Even though we have the fancy cameras now, it's still a good habit to turn and look and turn to the other side and just see. Is there any little bit of twinge of pain there? Uncomfortness? Take notice of that. Then say we need to put something away. How does that feel? How's that movement going? We're rotating, we're putting stuff away. Maybe we need to bend down. Think of a little squat to go down and up. Feel, is there anything that's particularly tight? Anything that's maybe preventing you from getting the most of your movement? Alrighty, now let's come back and just try to find that best standing posture. So to do this, I just want you to shift your weight side to side and start slowly increasing the range of motion, shifting side to side, making it smaller and smaller until you come to where that ideal point, that ideal balance is. And now we're going to shift forward and back and continue to breathe. Breath, oxygen is so important to our body. Make it smaller and smaller. And now feel your body like a little dust devil. You're circling and making it a little bit bigger, traveling all through all points in your feet. Start to make it smaller and smaller, smaller and smaller, and reverse it. And breathe. Using your abs here, of course, your core, which is comprised of your deep transverse abdominis, your pelvic floor, your diaphragm, that's why the breath is so important, and the multifidus muscles that come all along your spine. And making it smaller and smaller. From here, think of your pelvis. We're going to find that nice neutral pelvis, so we're going to begin to curl it under and send it away and make it nice and exaggerated for the first few ones. Keeping your knees soft, and then you start to make it smaller and smaller. Smaller and smaller. Until you find what's a neutral spine for you. Then your head. We're going to think of almost like a little turtle again. We're peeking, and then we're coming right back in. So think of a turtle peeking out of its shell. And then if somebody puts something stinky in front of the turtle's nose, it's going, ew, no thank you. Back in. So we exaggerate the movement here. And for me today, I think I must have slept kind of funky because I feel the back of my neck. So I'm like, hopefully once we're done, that'll feel a lot better. Not so edgy. And making it smaller and smaller. Until we try to find our head right over our shoulders. Okay, from here, let's step back towards the back of our mat, arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back in. Step one foot forward, and as we reach up, And see, can you even breathe here? Sometimes maybe you can't. Send the other foot forward and reach. And bring it back in. I'm going to face you now. As we send the foot forward, we're going to reach up to the side, circle down, and bring it back in. And set the other foot forward. Bring it up and circle down. And bring it back in. And maybe open your legs a little bit wider. And as we side bend, circle down. Bring it back in. Just take notice. How is your body feeling as we're moving through here? And again, we reach forward, down. The other arm comes up. And bring it back here. We're just playing. We're trying to see what our body's trying to tell us. Arms up again. Face. You can stay facing the same direction. Chin to your chest as if we're diving into a nice cool pool of water. Scooping through the abs. Feel the back of the legs. Take notice. Ooh, that's super tight here. We're going to walk our hands out. And just move through our heels. Get a little bit of a stretch for our calves. Shoulders back and down. And then here, carefully, you're going to come down to hands and knees. From we're going to try to break a little bit of a release to our hips and our low back. I want your hands to be pointing towards the corners of the room. So they're not right in front of you, corners to the room, and your fingers are nice and wide and spread. So you already are sitting closer towards your seat. I want you to send your hips towards your heels and bring it right back up. And so you're just going to be shifting back and forth. I want you to bring your knees together and shifting back and forth. Maybe you can begin to open up through the back here, almost coming into a little bit of a plank-like motion. Exhale as you go back, opening through the low back. Inhale, shoulders down. I'm going to bring it forward slightly. You can walk your hands a little bit forward. Think of opening through the front of the hips from here. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, think of sending your hips down towards away from you. You're going to look behind you. Come back through center and switch. And come back through center. And again, we're romancing your fascia here. We're taking it out on its first state. It's happy. Everything's nice. We want it to allow it to open up to us. And again, only going as far as you don't feel anything edgy, no pain. See if maybe you can start to deepen your range of motion here. Maybe bring in the hip all the way down, shoulders down. And other side. And back in one more. And come back in. From here we come back through center. Open our knees wide, heels together, and just sit back for that nice child's pose. Deep inhale here. And then as you exhale, you begin to rebuild your spine up, bone by bone. We're going to now sit and bring your feet. Keep moving this little mat quite a bit around. So bring your feet in front of you. What I'm teaching right now is part of live stretch. Again, it's fascial stretching. And it's called a move that's called the core 4. We're going to be stretching glutes, QLs, which is around that love handle area muscle that can get pretty tight. You think my low back hurts. It can be that spot there. Also, hip flexors and your lats. So we get to stretch out just about everything. You're going to bring your hands behind you. Your fingers are going to be putting away from you. And I don't want you to drop into your shoulders. I want you to keep actively pushing up. Abs are going to stay in. We're just going to do a quick little hip opener. So we're going to drop our knees side to side. And again, take the time here to see, what's tight? For me, today, it seems to be my left leg doesn't feel like it wants to play as much as my right does. And hopefully, again, that'll change a little bit as we go through the motions. From here, we're going to drop our knees to the right. We're going to bend our feet in. And I want you to bring your left leg behind you and try to bring that left leg in line with your hip. We're going to bring our hands in front of our right knee. And this is called the wave. So I want you to take an inhale as you get yourself nice and tall. And ooh, you should feel a stretch in the glutes there. Abs in, and then exhale, come crashing down like a wave, articulating through your spine. Inhale, come up. And exhale, come crashing down. Last one, in and up. And exhale, come crashing down. Try to stay low. And from here, we're just going to sway side to side. And again, remember, going nice and easy. Listening to your body. That's the thing sometimes we fail to do the most, is just to listen to our body talk to us. It tells you what it needs. The other hard thing too is to find the time to give it what it needs. Let's start to use our hands. We're going to start to walk forward, trying to stay low, and walk back and behind you. And walk forward. So we should start to feel that stretch. Move out of our glutes a little bit and more higher up towards our low back into your QL muscle, quadratus lumborum. Still staying low. See if you can deepen that range of motion. Maybe you can look at your back foot as you go back. And staying low. And try to go back as far as you can this time. See if maybe you can bring your elbow down. Woo. And over here, if you open up through your chest, through your hips, keeping those abs still engaged and pushing up from that bottom shoulder, you should already feel a nice stretch here through the front of the hip, your hip flexor muscle. Keeping your hands down, I just want you to inhale as you look up. Exhale. Look back and behind you. And that, oh my gosh, it should deepen. And again, only to a point where you feel a stretch. Never where you're feeling pain. It undoes everything we're doing if we push it to that point where there's pain. One more. And exhale. We're going to add on. So your hand's going to be reaching. We're going to begin to circle it down, out and around. Exhale as we reach, feeling that nice stretch through your lat, so behind your scapula. And continue. Follow your hand with your eyes. And reach, reach, reach. And inhale. And reach, reach, reach. Take it really slow, right at that spot where you feel that nice stretch. Last one. Stay nice and low. Begin to walk your hands back, forward again. And then from here, I want you to simply sway side to side as you begin to rebuild your spine up bone by bone. Bring your legs in front of you again. Let's do that assessment one more time, and we just drop our hips side to side. And so we did our right side, and you should already feel a little bit of a release, hopefully a little bit more motion. No edginess, no tightness, hopefully. Let's do the other side. See if maybe I can get this leg to when I come down as much as this other one does. So we'll end up towards your left. You're going to bring your right knee this time and bring it back and behind you so you can bring it in line with your hip. Hands now are going to be in front of your left knee here. We're going to take a nice deep inhale and we're going to lift, 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 find length. And then exhale, come crashing down like a wave. And inhale, find length. And exhale, come crashing down like a wave. So it's about finding length in your body, decompressing, and bringing it back down. Staying low, you sway side to side. Staying as low as you can. And again, exploring that range of motion. Feeling that glute start to release a little bit. Let's make that movement travel as we begin to add the hands walking towards the front and towards the back. And try to stay as low as you can so you can really experience that deep stretch in that QL muscle again. Couple more here. Let's go towards the back and see if you can bring your back elbow down into the mat. And already here, as I go to open up through my chest, I can feel that deep stretch through the front of my hip. I'm going to inhale as I look up. Exhale as I look back and behind me. Inhale as I look up. And exhale as I look back and behind me. Couple more times here. Using that breath to help us deepen our stretch. One more. Back and behind. I'm going to reach and hold. I'm going to extend. Now my right fingertips, think of reaching length. Inhale as I begin to circle them down. Out. Reaching up, nice and long. Reach, reach, reach. There's a spot right around here where you feel that nice stretch through the back. Inhale. Following your hand with your eyes. Exhale, reach, reach, reach. And bring it back down. Couple more. Really taking it nice and slow where you feel that stretch. Back and down. One more. Reaching up and over. And bringing it down, staying low. And from here again we sway. Get a little flower seeking the sun. Or you could think, I don't know, Mick Jagger. Swaying side to side. Axl Rose if you're more like an 80s girl like me. Or Adam Levine, I think he does this. He moves like Jagger, so that's who we're channeling right now. Bring your legs in front of you. And now again, let's do that assessment. Drop them side to side and hopefully we should feel a little bit more of a release. Very good. From here, we're going to swing your legs around. We're going to begin to roll down. Really hold it. Use your biceps here. So begin to roll down, down, down to the floor. We're going to open up through our arms a little bit more. So let's do a quick little assessment here. Bring your feet in together so we're like in a hook line position. I want you to open your arms nice and wide. Inhale. As you exhale, bring your hands together. Bend at your elbows and just take a look. Like for me, I feel like my right fingertips are reaching a little bit lower. No big deal. Bring it back up towards the ceiling. Open them nice and wide. Reach up and over. Bring those hands together again. Bend the elbows. It looks like I'm pretty even. But anyway, we'll assess here. What we're going to do is we're going to lay on our side. Bring your knees in. And your bottom arm is going to be reaching out in front of you. Want your top hand to be reaching out even longer than it. If you want more of a stretch here, you could think of hooking your top leg underneath your bottom leg. And from here, you're just going to begin to bring your hand across your chest and open out nice and wide. And this might be enough of a stretch for you today. If this is too deep, uncross the legs. And now from here, keep the arms out nice and long. You're going to begin to circle your hand down, trying to keep it close to the floor if possible. And we're going to make big circles. So reach it up and over. If it's too tight for you today, totally fine for you to keep the elbow bent as you reach, reach, reach. This is a deep stretch for your pecs. Our chests are often so tight. And we reach, reach, reach. Breathing through the stretch. One more. Follow your hand with your eyes if possible. And let's reverse it. So we go down. Again, opening out nice and wide. And breathing. 2 more passes here. And again, everything. Just continue taking assessment here of what's super tight on you today. Hopefully it should help that area right in between the scapula and, like I said, your chest can be really deep here. And bring it back in. Let's lay on our back one more time. Let's take that little test again. Arms open, nice and wide. Exhale, bring them together. And then just see, hopefully we're nice and even. For me now, my opposite arm is a little bit longer, which is not a shocker because we just stretched it. Bring your arms up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands together. Bend the elbows. Yeah. It's totally normal if this other side that we just opened up, it's a little bit longer. I'm going to turn away from you. That way you can see what the action that's happening as my arm reaches. So again, I can bring my top leg, hook it underneath my bottom leg. If that's too deep of a stretch, remember you can undo that. My bottom hand is just reaching nice and long. And I begin by having hand over hand. I reach out even a little bit further, and then I begin to trace my bottom arm as I open up from my chest towards the ceiling and reach out nice and long. Inhale here. As you exhale, begin to circle the arm up, trying to trace a big circle down. Again, if this is too tight, remember you can just leave it reaching. Just go to where you feel a stretch. And circle it out, down, in, and up. And for me, I can certainly notice a difference from side to side. I feel the openness right there in the pec. And from here, I have to come up a little bit higher because if I stay here, that's too edgy for me. I'm still nursing a little shoulder injury. So see, we all have fun ways to manage to break ourselves. And it's all about then just learning to self-care and protect our bodies. Let's reverse the direction. So circle out, down, in and up, using that breath. Just really tracing those circles on the ground. And that's the idea. Really allow your ribs to open. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back down. And open. And bring it back in, in, in. From here, let's roll on our backs again. And see if we find some balance. So arms out towards the sides. Bring them together towards the ceiling. Bend at the elbows. And just take a look at your fingertips. And hopefully we're nice and even. Let's reach the arms up and overhead. Inhale. Exhale, bring the palms of the hands together. Bend the elbows. And hopefully, I said, we're as close to even as possible. Now that we're down here, let's take another chance to open up through our hamstrings and through our glutes. So I just want you to cross your left leg over your right knee. And you're going to bring your knees in towards your chest. Grab a hold of your right foot with your left foot with your right hand, and your right foot with your right hand. And I just want you to rock side to side. Trying to send that left knee away from your chest. Just a couple of passes here. Bring it back in, knees into your chest. Deeply flex your feet, stamp the heels up towards the ceiling, and then just let them fall. And then just stamp your heels over towards the ceiling and let them fall again. One more time. And now let's cross your right leg over your left knee. Try to bring that left knee to your chest, opening that right knee away from you. Shoot pretty deep in the glutes. Exhale, bring the legs together. We're going to grab a hold of the opposite foot with the hands, and we're just going to rock side to side. And again, still trying to send that right knee away from your chest. And again, only going to a point where you feel a stretch. Ideally, you should be able to touch the toes as you rock side to side. May not be today, but it might be tomorrow. Last one. And bring it through center. From here, just extend your legs out. Carefully, you're going to roll to one side. And we'll come back to seated. And we'll end with our neck stretches. These are stretches that, ideally, if you could, you should try to do every single day. And we're going to start, there's a specific order. We try to open up the front of the neck first because we're always like this. So this is already super tight, and this is what creates that discomfort on the back of your neck. So I want you to interlace your thumbs. So thumbs are hooked together. Your fingers are going to land right on your collarbones. So they're going to create some traction. You're going to inhale, shrug your shoulders, and then allow those shoulders to come down, creating a little bit of traction here. From here, what I want you to do is you're just going to drop your chin side to side, drawing like little rainbows, half circles. Being very mindful that as you go through back, that you're not compressing through the neck, that you're just going side to side. Breathing. Drop your chin towards your right, and I want you to draw tiny little circles with your chin. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, think of having an underbite. If that's too deep, then you just go back. So again, manage your range of motion here. Reverse the direction. Drop your chin to your chest as we circle the head around towards the other side. Think of that opposite shoulder rounding down in tiny little circles. And again, you're invited to have that underbite. And it doesn't matter if anybody's looking and you look silly. No one's here to judge you. You're here to make yourself feel better. Reverse it. You need it. Couple more passes here. Drop the chin to the chest and release your hands, and then think of stacking your spine back up to straight. From here, we're going to go into big body circles. So I want to just go to wherever it feels natural. And how a mirror image of you, this does not feel natural to you, so you probably want to go the other direction. And as we do this, now I just want you to think of allowing your right ear to drop to your right shoulder. And you might already feel enough of a stretch there on the side of your neck, but if you want to add a little bit more, and again, watching that it doesn't get super edgy, allow your right hand to just gently rest on your head. You're not pulling on it, you're just allowing it to rest. And if you feel like, I feel like I could do a little bit more today, allow that left hand to come underneath your seat. And then continue doing those big circles. Breathing. Coming down through center. Release both hands and then sway side to side again to come back up to a nice tall spine. Let's reverse the direction of your body circle. So this might feel a little bit more natural to you or not. Just go the opposite direction. And now we allow our left ear to just rest on our right shoulder, opening up through the side of the neck, And see, can you deepen that stretch by just gently placing your hand, resting your hand on your head, not pulling, just resting. Maybe adding that opposite hand underneath your seat. And just circling around. Couple more here, and again, only to a point of a stretch, no straining. Come down through center, very important. We release both hands, and again, we sway side to side. As we come back to seated straight. Last thing, which everybody wants to do at first, opening the back of the neck, but we really need to release the front and the sides first so that we can get more length. You're going to interlace your fingers, bring it behind, around right where your hairline sits, and I want you to give yourself some traction. Make yourself a little bit taller. From here, you're going to take a nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to bring your chin to your chest, and you're going to sway side to side as you begin to round down through your spine. Again, maintaining those abs slightly engaged is going to help deepen that stretch almost all the way down your low back. And we're exploring here. Go side to side. Maybe stay on towards your left. And continue giving yourself a little bit of traction. Again, not pulling, never. Just Gentle traction here. Come through center. Let's go to the right. Maintaining that abdominal connection in. Come back through center. Maybe you can come in a little bit deeper. Release your hands. And then you continue to sway as you bring yourself to a nice tall spine again. All right. We're almost done here, so let's finish with our assessment. Let's think of, first thing we do, turning side to side. I definitely feel a lot more movement on that side that was a little bit strained this morning. I probably slept funny. Carefully from here. We'll stand back up and let's see. Ooh, I need to put something away. Reaching. Hopefully there's more range of motion or just not like any impingement or tightness. And then how about our squat? Oh, I need to get back up. Or maybe I need to come back down again. How do those glutes feel? Can you get a little bit more engagement? No tightness. And now let's just finish with our nice standing posture again, and then just feeling grounded. Head right over your shoulders, shoulders melting down your back. Shoulders right over your hips, hips right over your soft knees. I need to continue to remind myself of that. Equal weighting between your balls of your feet and your heels. Nice deep inhale up. Nice deep exhale down. And hopefully we're feeling a little bit more loose and a little bit happier because, you know, stretching releases endorphins as well. And all that gunky stuff from our connective tissue. Think of it as gum, dried up gum. We've given it movement so you feel all nice, loosey-goosey, and happy. And again, thank you so much for joining me today. And hope to see you again soon. Bye.